I feel like I realized this a while back, but never really wanted to fully accept it and, just realize that the only way to survive life, reality, just this world is just performing. And when I say that, I just mean performing in a way that shields yourself and others from what you really are deep down. Whatever trauma or whatever toxicity or negative bad thing that you really struggle with, you know, the parts of you where you just absolutely hate. If you want to survive in this world, this reality, truth is the really only way to do that is just to simply perform. And I guess my definition of performing in this case just means that you always have to act like something's not bothering you. You have to smile. You have to laugh on cue. You have to be okay around others and when you're talking to them, and act like you are just okay with everything. You are happy. You are good to go. There's nothing that you, there's nothing that's wrong. There's nothing anyone does or says bothers you. You just kind of detach, let go, and not care. So, and performing in that case is the only way to get by, only way to survive mentally, emotionally, everything. Because that way you are not a burden to yourself. Actually, it's not even about yourself, really. Burden to others. Because the sad part is, the more you are aware of yourself doing that, just the more you are aware of it and it comes to the surface, no matter how much you try to push it away and shut it out or whatever, it just ends up resurfacing anyways. But if you learn to master the art of performing for the sake of others and I guess your sanity at that point, because that's the only way you can be not seen as an inconvenience, a burden, and just too much for people. Because you ever realize or notice whenever you're as soon as you know unleash what's inside your own head or what is going on inside your mind, regardless if it's a spiral of overthinking, pessimistic thoughts, whatever. You ever realize if you're that type of person and then you start to do it, you may not realize that you're doing it until the very middle or towards when you're finished, because it's like you can't help but say something because you already don't like that about yourself. But it just, impulsively comes out like a bad habit. And it just ends up pushing people away. You don't intentionally try to do that. But it still happens. So it's like the more you do it and the more you're aware of doing it, in a way you're being yourself, but the other part of yourself that you hate. And it's like when you start doing that, you don't intentionally try to do it and project it onto others, but once it happens, you can't bear the thought of you consciously being aware of it, and that is who you are. So it just makes you want to it just, point being is that is already so painful and uncomfortable to feel and go through. So, you know what? It's like at that point, the only choice you really have, if you want to get through life, is to perform. So I mean, even though both are exhausting, performing and painfully being yourself, the part that you hate, at least with performing, you're not disappointing, you're not being a burden to others. You know that everything is good. You keep the peace, you are agreeable, you don't disturb others. You're just there and keeping everything all positive and just, as long as they're happy and they're all good, like, it's just a reality that I've learned, and feel like this is the only way I can even survive in life. And it's the only way to save yourself from your own mind, and to save yourself from, or to save others from just detesting you and resenting you or whatever it is, But that's just what I've got for now. So I hope you guys, maybe got some insight to that, but regardless, thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.